Sore Mbak, ya bayar ya Mbak?
Iya, sudah dicek Kak, totalnya 770.400.
Sudah.
Ya, pembayarannya mau pakai cash atau debit?
Cash ya Mbak?
Oh, boleh.
Aku mau bayar pakai ini.
Wow.
Sobat Rupiah, masih ingat sama uang ini kan? Uang peringatan kemerdekaan 75 tahun Negara Republik Indonesia yang dikeluarkan Bank Indonesia tanggal 17 Agustus 2020 kemarin. Walaupun desain dan pecahannya berbeda dari uang yang lainnya, tapi sebenarnya fungsinya sama kok sama uang-uang lain yang ada di dompet kalian. Jadi, uang ini bukan cuma untuk koleksi, tapi bisa untuk transaksi. Ingat tuh, ini sesuai dengan peraturan Bank Indonesia nomor 22/11 tahun 2020 tentang pengeluaran dan pengedaran uang rupiah khusus peringatan kemerdekaan 75 tahun Negara Kesatuan Republik Indonesia, pecahan 75.000 tahun emisi 2020. Gimana? Udah punya UPK 75? Atau pernah lihat di sekeliling kalian UPK 75 ini? Yuk kita buktiin kalau uang ini sah buat bertransaksi. Enggak Pak.
Saya tidak ada uang kemarin ini, belum ada.
Bapak tahu nggak ini uang Pak?
Iya, saya tahu. Kebetulan memang saya juga hari ini baru dapat nih.
Oh
Ya,
gitu.
kalau mau jujur sih, terima kasih nih.
Ah,
Karena memang baru ketemu yang selama ini sudah kenal.
ah.
Tapi karena peredarannya masih terbatas ya.
Betul. Kira-kira akan Bapak transaksikan atau Bapak koleksi aja atau gimana?
Jadi koleksi dulu.
Sebenarnya sih ini buat transaksi tuh sah kok Pak.
Sudah tahu.
Oke. Siang Mbak. Di take away aja.
Mau paket berduanya 109.000 dapat 2 box.
Satu aja sama ocanya satu. Sudah. Ini berapa Mbak?
Ini 85.
Oh, boleh deh yang krem.
Jadi 56.000 Kak.
Oke.
Totalnya 56.600. Uangnya 75 ya? Oh, iya ya.
Duit 75 itu udah tahu belum?
Udah? Tahu. Cuma nggak tahu, ini saya mau tanya dulu ke manajernya.
Oh, boleh.
Mau tanya dulu ya.
Itu yang baru itu.
Betul.
Itu.
Pernah lihat ini uang sebelumnya? Punya? Sebelumnya tuh udah ada yang belanja pakai uang ini belum?
Belum.
Tahu nggak kalau itu sebenarnya sah buat alat pembayaran?
Nggak tahu baru.
Belum dapat info sih.
Belum bisa, kalau kan yang 75 untuk koleksi aja.
Sebenarnya ya Pak,
Iya.
Mbak, saya jelasin nih, saya dari Bank Indonesia. Duit Rp75.000 ini sah buat ditransaksi. Dan itu ada peraturan Bank Indonesia nomor 22/11 tahun 2020. Jadi ini udah sah.
Pelanggan pertama berarti ya.
Pakai 75. Oke. Terima kasih ya Mas. Terima kasih Mbak. Oke. Terima kasih ya Mbak. Berarti bisa ya buat transaksi. Sip. Berarti sah ya duitnya ya. Bisa guys. Ini ya Pak. Ada yang pernah bayar pakai itu nggak? Bapak tahu nggak ini uang pernah ada?
Saya belum pernah tahu, cuma pernah dengar.
17 Agustus tahun 2020 kemarin, BI Bank Indonesia ngeluarin uang ini. Jadi nanti kalau ada orang yang bayar pakai uang ini, bisa untuk
Saya baru tahu ini duit yang bilang baru ya.
betul. Hai Bang, mau dong Bang, 20.000 kali ya?
Ya.
Itu duit. Apaan? Sebelumnya ada yang pernah beli pakai uang ini nggak?
Nggak ada.
Nggak ada?
Nggak ada. Tapi beneran uang baru ya, bukan uang mainan ya?
Beneran. Ini tanda tangan gubernurnya, kan? Tanda tangan gubernur. Nah, ini benang pengamannya. Terus Ini juga ada tulisan alat pembayaran yang sah dengan nilai 75.000 sama serinya.
Uang baru.
Yap.
Tapi belum keluar.
Udah.
Beredar.
Udah. Cuman memang belum banyak yang punya. Gimana? Udah terbukti kan kalau UPK 75 itu adalah alat bayar yang sah di negara kita. Mulai dari beli baju, bayar makanan, bayar transportasi, semua bisa. Eits, tapi jangan lupa tetap cuci tangan sebelum dan sesudah pegang uangnya ya. Jadi gimana? Makin cinta, bangga, paham rupiahnya dong. Yuk, jajan lagi.
Kota Denpasar adalah ibu kota Provinsi Bali yang memiliki perekonomian terbesar di Bali pada tahun 2020. Untuk mengembangkan sumber daya manusia yang unggul di bidang perekonomian, FEB Unmas Denpasar hadir sebagai salah satu perguruan tinggi yang telah mencetak berbagai lulusan akademik yang profesional di bidang perekonomian dan bisnis. Fakultas Ekonomi Unmas Denpasar didirikan pada tahun 1980
Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Mahasaraswati Denpasar berada di bawah Yayasan Perguruan Rakyat Saraswati Pusat Denpasar. Saat ini, Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Mahasaraswati Denpasar memiliki 4 program studi yang sudah terakreditasi, yang terdiri dari 1 program studi pasca sarjana, yaitu program studi Magister Manajemen, kemudian 3 program studi sarjana yang terdiri dari program studi Manajemen, program studi Akuntansi, dan program studi Manajemen PSDKU Mataram. Kami mengelola Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis ini secara profesional dan bermutu, sehingga saat ini kami telah memiliki sertifikat ISO 20001-2018 dan juga sertifikat ISO 9001-2015. Hal ini merupakan salah satu cara kami untuk membantu mewujudkan visi dari Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Mahasaraswati Denpasar, yaitu menjadi Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis yang bermutu, berbudaya, berjiwa wirausaha, dan diakui secara global. Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis memiliki komitmen yang sangat tinggi untuk menghasilkan lulusan yang bermutu dan dapat diterima di dunia kerja dan dunia industri. Hal ini dilaksanakan dibantu oleh seluruh sivitas akademika Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Mahasaraswati Denpasar dengan menjalankan tridharma perguruan tinggi secara berkesinambungan.
Attention please. Yeah, because we are already begin the opening ceremony. Please have a seat for all audience here. Thank you. First of all, I would like to welcome you all to this prestigious conference, the 5th International Public Sector Conference, IPSC 2023, held by Fakultas Ekonomi and Bisnis Universitas Mahasaraswati Denpasar, in collaboration with Universitas Terbuka and Universitas Teknologi Mara, and supported by PKN STAN, Universitas Trisakti, Universitas Tarumanegara, Universitas Pasundan, Universitas Muhammadiyah Malang, Universitas Cendana, Universitas Tadulako, and Universitas Bali International. We are supported by Bank Indonesia, BNI 46, BPD Bali, and BPR Baskara. In this occasion, we will outstanding presentation from our prominent speakers that can enrich our insight and knowledge regarding the theme of this conference, Strategic Alliance and Sustainability of Public Sector Organization in Digital Era. Ladies and gentlemen, before the conference begins, I would like to invite all of us to see in today's inaugural performance, the Sekar Jempiring Dance. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing. Before the conference begins, let us open today's event with prayer based on our respective beliefs and religions. Prayer begins. Prayer finish. Yeah, for the all audience, please sit down. And now, I would like to invite the third Vice Rector, Ikomang Budiarta SPD MPD M.Hum, to deliver the opening remarks and also open this event by hitting the gong. For Mr. Budiarta, please come up to the stage.
Om Swastiastu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, namo buddhaya, salam kebajikan, rahayu. First of all, I would like to send our best regard from the rector. Actually, he would like to attend this outstanding conference. However, he should do another important meeting that cannot be left out. So he disposed me to open this prestigious conference. First of all, I would like to address our strategic partnership from Universitas Terbuka, Mr. Vice Rector for Finance, and also our partnership from UITM, University Technology Malaysia, particularly the Accounting Research Institutes, and also all colleges from UITM. And I would like to mention also the co-hosts of these events who have already collaborated with Unmas Denpasar, especially Faculty of Economic and Business. I have got the list from the Dean, from PKN Stan, from Universitas Trisakti, Bali International, Tarumanagara, Tadulako, Pasundan, Muhammadiyah Malang, Nusa Cendana, and IPB. I believe this conference is actually a very interesting topic to be discussed. When I got this disposition from the lecturer, from the rector, I remember the book that I have read, written by Jeremy Harmer, 2007. He mentions that later in this world there will be two categories, what we call digital natives and digital immigrants. And today's topic is really related to what Harmer said in his book, that in the future we will face what we call as two gaps of digital natives and digital immigrants. A very warm welcome to the representative of governors of Bali, province Bali. And I believe that today's conference also coming up with a very hot issues concerning the two gaps, because dealing with public sectors, it is a very interesting topic to be discussed, and if it is combined with the digital era, it is much more interesting topic to be discussed. We do hope that this conference will coming up with fruitful insights, beautiful ideas to be discussed, so that all of the participants, researchers, academicians, students, practitioners, or participants who attend this conference will bring home a very fruitful insight of this conference. And I do welcome also some of the participants who might firstly come to Bali. Please enjoy Bali, this island of love. And I will also invite all participants to spend your days traveling around the area, enjoying Bali. And for those who have already visited Bali so many times, I invited you also to see Bali after COVID. Because before COVID, Bali is different, and after COVID, quite different. Some shops still closed, some new building also built, and you can see the difference or the comparison between Bali before COVID and after COVID. And in this wonderful meeting also, I would like to thank all committee for preparing this wonderful event. I heard from Prof from UITM that the next conference, the 6th International Public Sector Conference, will be held in different regions, and all participants are waiting this conference to be conducted outside. We do hope, we do pray that this conference will continuously conducted, because this kind of event will bring lots of knowledge, not only to the participants. This conference, this similar conference, might also give important recommendations, important insight for the policymakers, so that they can also use what is studied by the academicians, researchers, students, practitioners, to enlighten their policy in the future. And finally, I would like to say that this conference is very important, since in this room we are gathered together from different universities, from Indonesian universities, outside Indonesian universities. As I mentioned, we have UITM, we have Gachon universities in Korea, Chungbuk National Universities in Korea. We have also our partnership in Saudi Arabia universities. We have some foreign visitors in this room. We do hope that this
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing. Before the conference begins, let us open today's event with prayer based on our respective beliefs and religions. Prayer begins. Prayer finish. Yeah, for the all audience, please sit down. And now, I would like to invite the third Vice Rector, Ikomang Budiarto SPD MPD M.Hum, to deliver the opening remarks and also open this event by hitting the gong. For Mr. Budiarto, please come up to the stage.
Om Swastiastu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, namo buddhaya, salam kebajikan, rahayu. First of all, I would like to send our best regard from the rector. Actually, he would like to attend this outstanding conference. However, he should do another important meeting that cannot be left out. So he disposed me to open this prestigious conference. First of all, I would like to address our strategic partnership from Universitas Terbuka, Mr. Vice Rector for Finance, and also our partnership from UITM, University Technology Mara, Malaysia, particularly the Accounting Research Institutes, and also all colleges from UITM. And I would like to mention also the co-hosts of these events who have already collaborated with Unmas Denpasar, especially Faculty of Economic and Business. I have got the list from the Dean, from PKN STAN, from Universitas Trisakti, Bali International, Tarumanegara, Tadulako, Pasundan, Muhammadiyah Malang, Nusa Cendana, and IPB. I believe this conference is actually a very interesting topic to be discussed. When I got this disposition from the lecturer, from the rector, I remember the book that I have read, written by Jeremy Harmer 2007. He mentions that later in this world there will be two categories, what we call digital natives and digital immigrants. And today's topic is really related to what Harmer said in his book, that in the future we will face what we call as two gaps of digital natives and digital immigrants. A very warm welcome to the representative of governors of Bali, province Bali. And I believe that today's conference also coming up with a very hot issues concerning the two gaps. because dealing with public sectors, it is a very interesting topic to be discussed, and if it is combined with the digital era, it is much more interesting topic to be discussed. We do hope that this conference will coming up with fruitful insights, beautiful ideas to be discussed, so that all of the participants, researchers, academicians, students, practitioners, or participants who attend this conference will bring home a very fruitful insight of this conference. And I do welcome also some of the participants who might firstly come to Bali. Please enjoy Bali, this island of love. And I will also invite all participants to spend your days traveling around the area, enjoying Bali. And for those who have already visited Bali so many times, I invited you also to see Bali after COVID. Because before COVID, Bali is different, and after COVID, quite different. Some shops still closed, some new building also built, and you can see the difference or the comparison between Bali before COVID and after COVID. And in this wonderful meeting also, I would like to thank all committee for preparing this wonderful event. I heard from Prof from UITM that the next conference, the 6th International Public Sector Conference, will be held in different regions, and all participants are waiting this conference to be conducted outside. We do hope, we do pray that this conference will continuously conducted, because this kind of event will bring lots of knowledge, not only to the participants. This conference, this similar conference, might also give important recommendations, important insight for the policymakers, so that they can also use what is studied by the academicians, researchers, students, practitioners, to enlighten their policy in the future. And finally, I would like to say that this conference is very important, since in this room we are gathered together from different universities, from Indonesian universities, outside Indonesian universities. As I mentioned, we have UITM, we have Gachon universities in Korea, Chungbuk National Universities in Korea. We have also our partnership in Saudi Arabia universities. We have some foreign visitors in this room. We do hope that these collections of people will bring up together to build a very strong networking, to build much more strategic alliances, strategic partnerships that in the future will bring beneficial impact for all of us, for Indonesian countries, and for outside countries also. I think that's I can say for my welcoming remark. I close my speech by saying Om Santi 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 Om.
For Dr. Budiarto, please stay a while on the stage, because now we will open this event by hitting the gong, accompanied by the Dean and Vice Dean of Fakulty and Economic and Bisnis in Denpasar, Mr. Cahyadi and Mr.
On behalf of Director of Universitas Mahasaraswati Denpasar, Unmas Denpasar, today, Tuesday, 10 October 2023, I officially open the 5th International Public Sector Conference.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Budiarto, for the great speech and support of this conference. Please turn to the seat. And now, I would like to invite the head of UPTD Balai Pengembangan Teknologi Pendidikan Distrik Pora Bali as our invited speaker to present the topic about strategic policy for public services. For Mrs. Luhmade Seriarningsih, Eskom, MAP, the floor is yours.
Okay, good morning. Om Swastiastu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Salam, Namo Buddhaya, Rahayu. Sebelumnya kami mohon permakluman karena seyoknya Bapak Kepala Dinas yang berkenan hadir dalam kesempatan ini. Namun karena beliau ada tugas yang tidak dapat ditinggalkan, sehingga kami ditugaskan untuk mengisi acara pada hari ini. Yang terhormat Rektor Universitas Mahasaraswati beserta jajaran, yang kami hormati para pembicara yang telah hadir di tempat ini, dan juga para peserta seminar yang kami banggakan. Sebelumnya marilah kita menghaturkan sesanti angin bagya kehadapan Ide Sang Yang Widiwasa, Tuhan Yang Maha Esa, karena atas asung ketawara nugrahanya kita semua masih diberikan kesehatan untuk bersama-sama hadir mengikuti acara pada hari ini. Jadi dalam kesempatan ini perkenalkan saya Luhmade Seriarningsih selaku Kepala UPTD Balai Pengembangan Teknologi Pendidikan dari Dinas Pendidikan Kepemudaan dan Olahraga Provinsi Bali. Untuk kesempatan ini kami akan memaparkan terkait dengan kebijakan strategis layanan publik bidang pendidikan berbasis digital di Provinsi Bali. Bapak Ibu hadirin yang kami hormati, jadi sesuai dengan Undang-Undang Nomor 23 Tahun 2014 tentang pemerintah daerah, ya. Jadi khususnya pada pasal 12 ayat 1 ada 6 bidang ya yang menjadi urusan wajib pelayanan dasar. Jadi salah satunya adalah bidang pendidikan. Jadi kami di pemerintah Provinsi Bali sejak tahun 2017 itu kewenangannya meliputi dari jenjang pendidikan menengah SMA, SMK, dan SLB. Lanjut. Baik, Bapak Ibu sekalian, jadi terkait dengan tujuan dan sasaran pembangunan pendidikan di Bali, ya. Jadi kami dari Dinas Pendidikan Kepemudaan dan Olahraga Provinsi Bali, jadi kami mengempu yang menjadi target dari dinas kami adalah menyelesaikan dari wajar 12 tahun, ya, kewajiban wajar 12 tahun. Jadi tujuan pembangunan pendidikan di Bali adalah mewujudkan sumber daya manusia yang unggul, cerdas, berkarakter kuat, memiliki kompetensi global, bernalar kritis dan kreatif, serta berperilaku sesuai dengan nilai-nilai Pancasila dan melaksanakan falsafah Trihita Karana. Ini juga sesuai dengan peta jalan ekonomi kreatif Bali, ya, menuju Bali era baru. Jadi sasaran pembangunan pendidikan di Bali dalam jangka menengah adalah meningkatnya pemerataan layanan pendidikan bermutu di seluruh jenjang pendidikan, kemudian meningkatnya kualitas pembelajaran dan relevansi pendidikan di seluruh jenjang pendidikan, menguatnya karakter peserta didik, meningkatnya pemajuan dan pelestarian bahasa dan kebudayaan, serta meningkatnya tata kelola pendidikan dan kebudayaan yang partisipasi, transparan, dan akuntabel. Baik Bapak Ibu sekalian, next. Ini adalah gambaran secara umum kondisi pendidikan di Provinsi Bali. Jadi di Provinsi Bali di mana kewenangannya adalah jenjang menengah mulai dari SMA, SMK, dan SLB. Di situ terdapat 160 sekolah negeri dan kemudian ada 198 sekolah swasta. Jadi total sekolah di Provinsi Bali baik negeri dan swasta itu adalah 358 sekolah. Dengan jumlah siswa seluruhnya di jenjang menengah itu adalah 187.356. Dan jumlah tenaga guru kami dari jenjang SMA, SMK, dan SLB itu ada 11.315. Nah, mungkin kalau kita kilas balik ke masa pandemi yang lalu ya, saat itu di mana kita dihadapkan, khususnya bagi kami ya di dunia pendidikan, dihadapkan pada suatu situasi di mana pembelajaran yang biasanya dilakukan secara tatap muka, saat itu kita harus berubah ke pembelajaran jarak jauh atau daring. Nah, saat itu tentu tidak semua guru maupun peserta didik memiliki kesiapan maupun wawasan yang cukup ya untuk platform apa saja yang harus digunakan pada saat PJJ. Nah, untuk itulah kami dari Dinas Pendidikan, Kepemudaan dan Olahraga Provinsi Bali berangkat dari hal itu, kami berusaha secara masif untuk terus meningkatkan pelayanan dalam pendidikan ini, sehingga ke depan bagaimana agar guru kami terus menambah digitalnya, khususnya dalam era digital saat ini. Tentu kita tidak bisa terlepas dari peranan teknologi, khususnya dalam pembelajaran ya. Nah, kemudian arah kebijakan dari Dinas Pendidikan ya, khususnya di bidang pendidikan adalah terkait dengan peningkatan akses, peningkatan mutu, dan peningkatan tata kelola. Lanjut. Jadi sesuai dengan capaian indikator kinerja urusan pendidikan di Provinsi Bali pada tahun 2022 ya, jadi pada target untuk rata-rata lama sekolah itu targetnya adalah 10,84, kita bisa mencapainya di tahun 2020 adalah 9,39 ya. Kemudian untuk angka harapan lama sekolah itu adalah yang bisa kita capai 13,48. Kemudian angka partisipasi kasar jenjang pendidikan menengah itu adalah hampir 100% lebih. Kemudian angka kelulusan SMA SMK itu adalah 99,98%. Dan kemudian persentase lulusan siswa SMK yang diterima bekerja di dunia usaha atau industri adalah 63,95%. Nah, kaitan dengan penerapan TIK di sekolah, di mana target di tahun 2022 itu adalah 50%, kita bisa melampauinya sedikit, yaitu sampai 57%, walaupun di mana tentu hal ini harus terus ditingkatkan, di mana target kami di tahun 2023 adalah 75% untuk penerapan TIK di sekolah-sekolah. Lanjut. Nah, terkait dengan peningkatan akses ya, yaitu sudah dilakukan mulai dari tahun 2018 sampai dengan 2023 ini. Jadi sejak era kepemimpinan Bapak Gubernur Wayan Koster itu sudah dibangun unit sekolah baru sebanyak 17 sekolah. Jadi tersebar di seluruh kabupaten kota sebali. Karena kalau kita lihat dari jumlah lulusan SMP yang akan memasuki jenjang menengah itu di Provinsi Bali sekitar 65.000 siswa. Nah, kalau lihat dari sisi daya tampung sekolah negeri memang tidak bisa mencukupi seluruhnya siswa itu untuk dapat ditampung di sekolah negeri. Untuk itulah kita juga menggandeng peran dari sekolah swasta untuk anak-anak kita ini agar semuanya dapat ditampung dan bersekolah. Ya, jadi kalau dengan sisi daya tampung swasta sebenarnya tidak ada kekurangan daya tampung di Provinsi Bali ya. Namun di Bali mungkin ya khususnya, mungkin di provinsi lainnya juga animo dari orang tua siswa maupun siswa itu sendiri memang cenderung ke negeri. Sehingga untuk itulah pemerintah Provinsi Bali berupaya untuk terus menambah unit sekolah baru untuk mengatasi kekurangan daya tampung ini. Namun memang tidak lepas peran swasta juga memang tetap kita harapkan untuk terus bersinergi dengan pemerintah provinsi dalam hal menampung anak-anak kita ini akan melanjutkan ke jenjang pendidikan menengah. Lanjut. Kemudian dari segi peningkatan mutu untuk pendidik dan tenaga kependidikan, kami di Dikpora Provinsi Bali juga berupaya melakukan berbagai program kegiatan untuk mendukung guru-guru kita, di mana kalau ke depan sekarang istilahnya sudah menjadi guru penggerak ya, atau sekolah penggerak seperti itu. Jadi masing-masing guru ya memang harus berkompetisi, harus bisa meningkatkan mutu dirinya masing-masing. Sekarang ada program guru penggerak. Nah, di sini yang kita sudah lakukan di Provinsi Bali adalah melalui pemetaan dan analisis kebutuhan guru dan tenaga kependidikan secara lebih proporsional, ya. Jadi walaupun memang jumlah guru sebenarnya sudah banyak, ya, namun tetap saja belum bisa sebanding, ya, ideal untuk bisa memenuhi kebutuhan siswa kita, ya. Jadi sebenarnya tahun ini juga dan tahun lalu kita sudah banyak menerima guru-guru lewat jalur P3K seperti itu. Kemudian kita juga melakukan pelatihan dan BIMTEK bagi Bapak Ibu guru, ya. Kalau kami di UPTD Balai Pengembangan Teknologi Pendidikan, khususnya kami melakukan peningkatan kompetensi untuk Bapak Ibu guru ini adalah dalam bidang TIK-nya, seperti itu. Kemudian di sini juga kami melakukan pengembangan konten digital pendidikan, ya, karena bagaimanapun di era ini kita tidak bisa terlepas dari pembelajaran yang menggunakan teknologi. Jadi inilah peran kami di Balai Pengembangan Teknologi Pendidikan untuk menelurkan media-media pembelajaran berbasis TIK seperti buku interaktif, ya, atau platform-platform pembelajaran berbasis digital. Kemudian kami juga melakukan pembinaan penggunaan TK khususnya bagi sekolah-sekolah yang tertinggal, mungkin jauh dari pelosok, susah aksesnya ke kota, susah akses internetnya. Kami yang datang menjemput bola ke sekolah-sekolah tersebut. Itu yang kami lakukan terobosannya mulai tahun ini. Kemudian kami juga terus melakukan peningkatan terkait dengan kurikulum khususnya muatan lokal, ya, terkait dengan nilai-nilai kearifan lokal. Jadi untuk yang ini salah satu terobosan yang sudah dilakukan di pemerintahan Bapak WN Koster lalu, ya, ada peluncuran keyboard aksara Bali seperti itu. Kemudian untuk peningkatan mutu peserta didik, ya, jadi kami terus mengasah kemampuan anak-anak kami khususnya untuk mengikuti berbagai lomba-lomba baik di tingkat nasional maupun internasional, ya. Jadi seperti ada O2SN, FL2SN dan sebagainya. Kita juga melakukan penguatan profil pelajar Pancasila melalui pelatihan dan pembinaan karakter peserta didik. Kemudian kita juga melakukan review dan pembinaan kurikulum satuan pendidikan dalam rangka meningkatkan kemampuan literasi dan numerasi siswa serta penguatan pendidikan vokasi SMK. Jadi selama berapa tahun belakangan kan sudah tidak lagi kita mengenal UN, ya, Bapak Ibu, untuk kelulusan. Jadi saat ini kita lakukan ANBK, Asesmen Nasional Berbasis Komputer. Jadi itu meliputi survei survei lingkungan belajar, kemudian survei untuk literasi dan numerasi. Jadi dari situlah kita bisa melihat rapor mutu dari setiap satuan pendidikan sudah sejauh mana. Seperti itu kita bisa melihat apa yang masih menjadi kekurangan dan apa yang sudah menjadi kelebihan, itu yang nantinya akan ditingkatkan. Lanjut. Nah, di sini saya mengerucut ke digitalisasi, jadi layanan publik, ya, layanan pendidikan yang berbasis digitalisasi yang sudah kami telurkan di Provinsi Bali, khususnya di Distrik Provinsi Bali. Jadi mempercepat digitalisasi pendidikan untuk meningkatkan dan memeratakan akses dan mutu pendidikan di Bali melalui pemanfaatan TIK. Jadi hal ini yang kami lakukan di Provinsi Bali. Dan hal ini juga sejalan dengan program kerja dan agenda pembangunan Distrik Provinsi Bali, di mana karena kemarin mengaca dari situasi pandemi yang terjadi, sehingga Bapak Gubernur pada saat itu menginginkan adanya suatu sistem pembelajaran secara hybrid. Jadi tidak hanya kita berpegang pada pembelajaran secara konvensional saja yang mengandalkan tatap muka di kelas, tapi kami sekarang sudah mulai membuat pola pembelajaran secara hybrid. Salah satunya di situ bisa mengurangi adanya kekurangan jumlah kelas dan guru seperti itu. Lanjut. Beberapa kebijakan strategis layanan publik bidang pendidikan yang berbasis digital yang sudah kami inisiasi di Distrik Provinsi Bali khususnya. kami saat ini sudah membangun suatu portal pembelajaran e-learning dengan nama portal Bali Melajah. Ini melajah itu bahasa Bali, artinya belajar. Jadi kami harapkan dengan portal pembelajaran ini anak-anak kita, para guru pendidik itu bisa melakukan proses pembelajaran dari mana saja, kapan saja, dan di mana saja. Tidak terbatas, hanya belajar di ruang kelas saja. Dan tentu dengan pembelajaran dari ini bisa memunculkan suasana mungkin yang lebih menarik dan pengalaman yang lebih menarik bagi anak-anak kita ya. Jadi tidak terlalu membosankan apabila pembelajaran hanya di kelas saja. Juga sekarang dengan adanya kurikulum merdeka, di mana anak-anak juga para guru juga tidak fokus hanya ke nilai akademis siswa saja, tapi kita juga lebih ke penguatan karakter dari siswa. Sehingga nanti di akhir jeda semester biasanya kita ada suatu proyek yang harus ditampilkan oleh siswa-siswa kita, menampilkan juga apa bakat mereka, apa keinginan mereka, sehingga dituangkan dalam proyek-proyek tersebut. Nah, portal Bali Melajah dapat diakses di laman melajah.baliprof.co.id. Kemudian kita juga mengembangkan ya media-media pembelajaran interaktif dengan nama fiturnya adalah sumber belajar. Jadi sumber belajar ini berisi video-video pembelajaran yang bisa diakses di seluruh jenjang SMA, SMK, dan SLB. Kemudian kita juga mengembangkan aplikasi pembelajaran daring dengan nama kelas virtual. Jadi ini bisa digunakan oleh Bapak Ibu guru dan para siswa. Dan untuk membina sekolah-sekolah yang tadi saya sebutkan tertinggal atau kurang bisa kita jangkau karena jauh ya aksesnya dari kota atau dia masih memiliki keterbatasan dalam sarana prasarana TIK, kita lakukan pembinaan langsung di sekolah-sekolah tersebut yang kita namakan jargonnya adalah pembatik keliling onsite. Jadi pembelajaran berbasis TIK keliling. Kemudian untuk menunjang juga layanan karena kami juga di Disdik mengelola Dapodik ya, data pokok kependidikan. Yang memang ini aplikasinya dari Kemendikbud, namun kami di daerah yang melakukan verifikasi seluruh data tentang pendidikan itu ada di ranah di kami di Distrik Pura Provinsi Bali. Dan untuk mendukung itu kita juga membangun aplikasi Panda, jadi sistem informasi pangkalan data pendidikan. Dan kita juga mengembangkan media komunikasi informasi edukasi bagi Bapak Ibu guru dengan tagline-nya nyapa guru dan siswa. Jadi kita ingin mendekatkan guru ya, siswa jika memiliki berbagai informasi yang ingin di-sharing ya. Karena sekarang mungkin zamannya adalah zamannya podcast ya Bapak Ibu ya. Jadi informasi akan lebih tersalurkan bila diramu dalam kemasan yang tidak terlalu formal ya. Jadi itu yang kita gagas dari Distrik Pura Provinsi Bali. Kita menyiapkan satu media ya dengan jargonnya namanya nyapa guru dan siswa. Kemudian kita juga membangun learning management system ya berbasis model. Itu juga untuk kepentingan pelatihan daring karena pada saat pandemi kemarin kita sama sekali tidak bisa melakukan pelatihan secara tatap muka seperti yang dilakukan saat ini Bapak Ibu. Jadi beberapa tahun lalu saat pandemi kita melakukan pelatihan secara daring, nah itu ditunjang oleh LMS yang kami bangun. Kemudian untuk penerimaan peserta didik baru itu juga sejak 2017 sudah dilaksanakan secara online. Itu yang sudah kami lakukan di Provinsi Bali terkait dengan layanan pendidikan berbasis digital. Jadi sekarang penerimaan siswa baru tidak lagi manual ya. Mungkin ada beberapa daerah mungkin yang masih melaksanakan secara manual karena memang tidak didukung dengan infrastruktur yang memadai. Namun Astungkara di Provinsi Bali kami sejak 2017 sampai dengan saat ini sudah kita lakukan secara online, walaupun mungkin awal-awal masih terdapat ya beberapa permasalahan, kekisruhan karena ketidaktahuan dan kurangnya pemahaman dari orang tua siswa maupun calon peserta didik itu sendiri bagaimana untuk melakukan atau mendaftar secara online tadi. Dan mudah-mudahan ke depan ini benar-benar bisa kita laksanakan dengan lebih baik lagi dan lebih kondusif. Dan satu lagi yang sudah kami luncurkan itu adalah keyboard aksara Bali. Jadi memang ini yang kita nuansanya juga disesuaikan dengan kearifan lokal Bali. Jadi agar anak-anak tidak hanya mengenal mungkin bahasa asing ya, tapi agar tetap anak-anak kita mengenal tidak hanya bahasa Balinya itu sendiri, tapi juga mengenal aksara Bali seperti itu. Jadi dengan peluncuran keyboard ini diharapkan juga menambah kecintaan anak-anak didik kita terhadap budaya Bali itu sendiri. Baik Bapak Ibu sekalian, hadirin yang kami hormati, portal Bali Melajah ya yang tadi saya singgung di awal merupakan adaptive e-learning untuk mewujudkan SDM Bali unggul, cerdas, berkarakter yang bersifat adaptif terhadap dinamika perkembangan TIK dan kebutuhan pendidikan. Jadi portal Bali Melajah ini hadir sebagai bentuk inovasi layanan pendidikan terintegrasi berbasis digital yang dapat dimanfaatkan oleh semua guru dan siswa pada satuan pendidikan jenjang menengah di Provinsi Bali. Jadi dapat diaksesnya di laman balimelajah.baliprof.co.id. Jadi terdapat 5 fitur layanan di dalam portal Bali Melajah ini, yaitu ada sumber belajar, kemudian ada kelas virtual, kemudian ada layanan pembatik keliling, kemudian ada simpatik, sistem informasi pembelajaran jarak jauh, kemudian ada media komunikasi informasi edukasi dengan tagline nyapa guru dan siswa. Ini yang sedang kami bangun, kita rancang sebenarnya sudah dari tahun lalu, namun baru bisa kita kembangkan tahun ini bekerja sama dengan Dinas Kominfo Provinsi Bali. Yang sedang masih digarap fiturnya adalah sumber belajar dan kelas virtual. Sedangkan untuk pembatik linknya sudah kita laksanakan. Jadi kita lakukan layanan tersebut di 18 SMK, 20 SMA dan 9 SLB di tahun ini. Nah, itu juga terakhir kita baru pulang dari Nusa Penida. Jadi yang memang kita harus nyebrang pulau ke sana, kita datangin ke sana. Sehingga kita langsung datang membawa narasumber dan langsung melakukan pelatihan di tempat. Jadi perbedaannya dengan pelatihan konvensional ya, kalau pelatihan ini adalah sesuai dengan keinginan dari satuan pendidikan masing-masing, baik dari materinya seperti apa, itu mereka yang memilih. Sehingga apa yang kita sampaikan benar sesuai dengan keinginan dari masing-masing satuan pendidikan. Baik, mungkin untuk melihat seperti apa gambarannya, bisa langsung lihat video sekilas ya Bapak Ibu tentang kegiatan kami terkait dengan layanan pendidikan berbasis digital di Provinsi Bali. Mungkin Bapak Ibu bisa menyimak sedikit video dari yang sudah kami siapkan. Jadi dengan dibangunnya portal Bali Melajah ini, kami berharap banyak manfaat yang dapat dirasakan oleh para pendidik dan juga para peserta didik kita. Jadi kita ingin agar pembelajaran itu dapat dilakukan dari mana saja, kapan saja. Dan kemudian siswa juga dapat mengakses media belajar yang lebih variatif, ya. Dan juga memungkinkan terjadinya interaksi antara guru dan siswa meskipun tidak secara tatap muka. Portal Bali Melajah ini ada 5 fitur ya. Memang ini yang menjadi unggulan kami karena memang baru kami kembangkan, sehingga ke depan mudah-mudahan ini menjadi suatu inovasi ke depan yang memang bermanfaat bagi peningkatan layanan pendidikan berbasis digitalisasi di Provinsi Bali ya. Jadi ada 5 fitur di portal Bali Melajah. Jadi ada sumber belajar, sumber belajar. Jadi sumber belajar ini adalah merupakan repositori media pembelajaran interaktif untuk kita di situ bisa berbagi dan berkarya juga bagi Bapak Ibu guru. Jadi selama pelatihan beberapa tahun terakhir ini kita sudah mengumpulkan hampir 700 video pembelajaran interaktif yang dihasilkan oleh guru-guru kami. Nah, namun selama ini video-video interaktif tersebut belum teroptimalkan, belum termanfaatkan dengan baik. Sehingga disitulah kami menginisiasi untuk menyimpan ini di dalam portal Bali Melajah agar siswa, guru maupun masyarakat lainnya juga bisa mengakses ini sebagai referensi tambahan dalam pembelajaran, Bapak Ibu. Jadi di sumber belajar ini berisi media-media pembelajaran interaktif yang bisa diakses secara gratis oleh anak-anak kita. Dan juga untuk kelas virtual, ya, kelas virtual. Jadi kelas virtual ini adalah merupakan e-learning untuk mewujudkan SDM Bali unggul, cerdas dan berkarakter. Jadi kita harapkan dengan e-learning ini proses pembelajaran dapat dilakukan di mana saja, kapan saja secara online. Jadi misalnya Bapak Ibu guru sudah memberikan materinya di kelas, mungkin penugasannya bisa dilakukan secara online di platform e-learning ini. Memang mungkin sudah banyak sebenarnya platform e-learning baik yang dibangun oleh pemerintah maupun swasta ya. Nah, kenapa kami berinisiasi membangun juga e-learning ini? Ya, pertama juga mungkin kita ingin memberikan kemudahan bagi sekolah-sekolah kami agar tidak terbebani pertama dari sisi biaya, dari segi keamanan data. Karena memang ini yang kami bangun sendiri di pemerintahan Provinsi Bali, di mana server dan security-nya mungkin tentu akan lebih terjamin ya daripada sekolah mungkin harus menggunakan dana BOS menyewa sistem aplikasi untuk e-learning ini, seperti itu. Kemudian kita juga ada program pembatik ya, pembelajaran berbasis TK keliling on-site. Jadi kita yang menjemput bola langsung ke sekolah-sekolah tanda kutip 3T-nya Bali, seperti itu. Jadi sekolah-sekolah yang mungkin masih memiliki kekurangan dari segi sarprasnya ya, kemudian kemampuan Bapak Ibu guru dalam kompetisi TK-nya juga masih kurang, itu yang kita jemput bola. Karena kalau kita datangkan langsung mungkin memerlukan kos atau biaya yang cukup besar Bapak Ibu. Jadi dengan kita langsung datang jemput bola itu bisa pertama meminimalisir biaya dan juga bisa lebih optimal juga pengajarannya, karena memang materi yang diberikan itu adalah sesuai yang diinginkan oleh satuan pendidikan masing-masing. Kemudian kita ada satu fitur lagi, yaitu fitur simpatik, sistem informasi pelatihan pembelajaran berbasis TIK. Jadi di sini adalah sistem pembelajaran yang menggunakan LMS berbasis model. Jadi ini kita biasanya kita lakukan untuk melakukan pelatihan secara daring. Jadi penugasannya, materi dan sebagainya itu disampaikannya lewat LMS, sedangkan untuk pengajarnya biasanya kita lakukan secara Zoom meeting, secara daring. Karena kami di Distipora Provinsi Bali, kami juga tersedia ada satu sarana prasarana yaitu studio mini, Bapak Ibu. Jadi di studio mini itulah kita biasanya melakukan pembelajaran secara daring ya, pelatihan secara daring atau melakukan conference meeting secara daring. Sudah bisa videonya? Kemudian kita juga ada satu media komunikasi informasi edukasi dengan tagline nyapa guru dan siswa, ya Bapak Ibu. Jadi di sini kita menggandeng stakeholder terkait untuk melakukan edukasi kepada siswa. Seperti salah satunya sudah kita lakukan adalah kita menggandeng dari kejaksaan untuk memberikan pemahaman kepada siswa-siswa kita tentang bahaya narkoba dan anti korupsi, seperti itu. Biasanya kita laksanakan itu saat LMPS misalnya di awal tahun pembelajaran. Dan kita juga menggandeng, kalau di kami ada namanya Duta Teknologi Kemendikbudristek. Jadi ini adalah merupakan guru-guru pilihan yang sudah melewati proses seleksi oleh Kemendikbudristek, khususnya dalam pemahaman mereka dalam TIK, sehingga akhirnya mereka menjadi duta yang dinobatkan di masing-masing provinsinya untuk menyebarluaskan praktik baik kepada sesama guru maupun kepada siswa tentang pembelajaran TIK, seperti itu Bapak Ibu. Dan yang sudah kami bangun juga di distrik itu, kita membuat aplikasi untuk kepegawaian, karena dengan ribuan guru ya, jadi jumlah pegawai kami dibandingkan dengan mungkin OPD lain itu sebenarnya kami yang paling banyak, karena memang kami membawahi dari guru dan tenaga kependidikan. Nah, untuk mempermudah layanan ya kepegawaian khususnya, Distipora Provinsi Bali membangun aplikasi e-kepek ya, aplikasi elektronik kepegawaian Distipora Provinsi Bali. Jadi nanti semua usulan terkait kepegawaian itu dilakukan secara online by system, sehingga bisa menyediakan data secara real time, update dan valid ya. Kemudian juga prosesnya juga bisa lebih cepat ya dibandingkan secara manual, seperti itu. Dan kami juga di Provinsi Bali terkait dengan layanan berbasis digital ini ya. Salah satunya untuk persuratan kami sudah lakukan melalui kantor virtual. Jadi kami di Provinsi Bali sudah tidak ada lagi menggunakan paper, kita sudah paperless. Jadi semua surat dan lain sebagainya kita sudah lakukan lewat kantor virtual. Untuk penandatangan surat-suratnya juga sudah dilakukan secara elektronik lewat TTE tadi. Untuk absensi kepegawaian juga sudah kita lakukan secara elektronik juga, seperti itu Bapak Ibu. Mungkin kalau sudah siap panitia bisa diputar ya.
Saya, Dr. Muhammad Hasan Habibi, sehari-hari bertugas sebagai Kepala Pusat Data dan Teknologi Informasi Kementerian Pendidikan Kebudayaan, Riset dan Teknologi. Dengan ini kami sangat mengapresiasi atas dibangunnya portal Bali Melajah oleh Dinas Pendidikan, Kepemudaan dan Olahraga Provinsi Bali. Tentu aplikasi ini juga sebagai sebuah wujud inovasi pelayanan pendidikan di Provinsi Bali yang diharapkan mampu adaptif dalam memberikan solusi-solusi pembelajaran, tentunya yang berbasis layanan digital dan teknologi informasi. Apalagi situasi pandemi COVID kemarin sudah membuka gerbang besar layanan pendidikan yang berbasis digital. Portal Bali Melajah ini juga tentu kami harapkan terus-menerus dikembangkan, baik dari sisi teknologinya, dari sisi digital kontennya, dan yang paling penting adalah terintegrasi dengan inovasi-inovasi dan layanan yang sudah dikembangkan sebelumnya oleh Kemendikbudristek, sehingga layanan ini dapat membawa perubahan dan angin segar bagi peningkatan mutu dan kualitas.
Dan sekarang sudah mulai beranjak ke pola pembelajaran secara hybrid, yaitu kombinasi antara pembelajaran tatap muka dengan pembelajaran daring. Pandemi COVID-19 telah membuka gerbang besar layanan pendidikan berbasis digital. Berdasarkan peta jalan ekonomi Karti Bali menuju Bali era baru, tujuan pembangunan pendidikan di Bali adalah mewujudkan SDM Bali unggul yang cerdas dan berkarakter kuat, memiliki kompetensi global, bernalar kritis dan kreatif, serta berperilaku sesuai dengan nilai-nilai Pancasila dan melaksanakan falsafah Trihita Karana. Berdasarkan hal tersebut, Dinas Pendidikan Kepemudaan dan Olahraga Provinsi Bali sebagai pengampu arah kebijakan peningkatan mutu layanan pendidikan berupaya melakukan video ini merupakan hasil karya guru-guru SMA atau SMK di Provinsi Bali yang telah mengikuti pelatihan pembelajaran berbasis TIK yang diselenggarakan oleh UPTD BPTEKDI. Pengembangan ke depan, guru-guru dapat menjadi kontributor untuk menambah media pembelajaran baik dalam bentuk video, e-book, maupun modul bahan ajar.
Baik Bapak Ibu sekalian, mohon maaf karena waktunya terbatas. Mohon maaf tidak bisa kami jelaskan secara lebih detail lagi apa-apa saja tadi. Mohon maaf juga dalam kesempatan ini mungkin ada keterbatasan yang kami sampaikan dan belum banyak hal-hal yang dapat kami sampaikan terkait dengan layanan pendidikan berbasis digital di Provinsi Bali. Mungkin dalam kesempatan lain bisa kita sharing lagi ke depannya. Okay. Mohon maaf apabila dalam penyampaian kami ada hal yang kurang berkenan atau masih ada yang kurang. Kedepannya mudah-mudahan bisa kami perbaiki dengan lebih baik lagi. Terima kasih. Kami tutup dengan Parama Santi. Om Santi, Santi, Santi Om. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Salam nama budaya.
Thank you, Mrs. Sirianisi. But please stay a while on the stage. Please stay a while on the stage because now is the awarding souvenir session from Dr. Budiarta, accompanied by Dr. Kepra Marini. Okay, and now the documentation session for Dr. Budiarta and Dr. Kepra. please stay well on the stage, and we invite the Vice Dean of Fakultas Ekonomi and Bisnis Unmas Denpasar to come up to the stage, Dr. Witnyana and Dr. Cahyadi, and also to all keynote speakers. Please come up to the stage, and to all representative of our co-hosts. Okay, please come up to the stage for the all keynote speakers and the representative of our co-hosts, because now is the documentation session. So please come up on the stage. And for the representative of our co-host from PKN STAN already here, Universitas Trisakti, Universitas Bali International, Universitas Tarumanegara, Universitas Tadulako, and Universitas Terbuka. To all representative of our co-host, please come up on the stage. Okay, already done. Please give big applause for this session. Thank you so much to all keynote speakers and representatives for our co-host. Okay, maybe for all audience, please return to the seat, because now we will continue. Okay, before that, I will the next agenda is the main event of the conference session. With all due respect, we invite the third rector of Universitas Mahasaraswati Denpasar and staff to leave the room if have other activities or agenda. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time for me to introduce the keynote speakers for today's conference. Our keynote speakers are Professor Ali Muktianto as a Vice Rector in Finance Universitas Terbuka and Head of Forum Dosen Akuntansi Publik. The second one is Professor Sojin Kwang from Daejeon University, Korea, and also Dr. Nurziana Binti Lukman from University Teknologi Mara. And also we have online guest speaker, Professor Susana George from University of Coimbra. In order to start the conference, please welcome our moderators today, Niloh Nyoman Serina Devi. Niloh Nyoman Serina Devi received her bachelor's degree in accounting from Udayana University in 2013, finished professional accountant program from Udayana University in 2016, and earned her master's degree in accounting from Udayana University in 2018. She lives in Denpasar and works as lecturer in accounting department, Fakultas Ekonomi and Bisnis, Universitas Mahasaraswati Denpasar. She is also the managing editor of Juara, a scientific journal that published by accounting department from Unmas Denpasar. For Mrs. Serina, the floor is yours. Please give big applause for our moderators today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Indah, for introducing me. Om Swastiastu. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom. Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan, salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Selamat pagi semuanya. As introduced by our MC before, my name is Niloh Nyoman Serina Devi, and you can call me Sherina. Today I feel very honored to be here with all of you, with all our distinguished keynote speaker, with all our guests, with all the participants here. Today we are here in our prestigious conference, the 5th International Public Sector Conference 2023. And first thing first, before we begin, I will announce the rules and the presentation time before I start to introduce our keynote speakers for today. Our conference rule: first, to all participants here, please make sure to put your phone on silent mode. And for the online participant, will be mute during the presentation. There will be a question and answer session after the keynote speakers finish their presentation, and the moderator has the authority to choose who will deliver the question or suggestion. Before I start, I would like to inform you that each keynote speaker will have 25 minutes to present their slides, and the Q&A session will be done after the presentation session. Today we have 3 keynote speakers this morning. First is Professor Ali Muktianto. Second, Professor Sojin Kwang. And third, we have Dr. Nurziana Lokman. Now I would like to invite Professor Ali Muktianto and Dr. Nurziana to kindly come up to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our keynote speakers with a round of applause. Okay. Before we begin, I would like to give a brief introduction before we start the main session. Our first speaker for today is Professor Ali Muktianto. Professor Ali received his bachelor degree in accounting from Tridharma Bandung in 1995, Master of Science in Economics and Accounting from Universitas Padjadjaran Bandung in 2000, and earned his doctorate in accounting science from Universitas Indonesia Depok, graduated in 2016. Professor Ali is Vice Rector in Finance and General Affairs of Universitas Terbuka, Head of Forum Dosen Akuntansi Publik, Dean of Faculty of Ekonomi and Bisnis in 2018 until 2022, and he received awards. Satya Laksana Karya Satya 10 tahun from President of Indonesia Joko Widodo in 2015. Ketua Program Studi Berprestasi from Rektor Universitas Terbuka in 2010, and dosen berprestasi in 2006. Professor Ali has also presented paper at various conferences and published articles in reputable scholarly journals. Without further ado, Prof. Ali Mukadlo, the time to deliver the presentation will be 25 minutes. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mbak Sarina. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan, Rahayu. First of all, the Honorable Dean of FEB Universitas Mahasaraswati, my dear strategic partner, host and co-host in this conference, guest speakers, and all participants in this prestigious conference. Ladies and gentlemen, in this moment, I would like to present about the digitalization of transformation of accounting from accounting traditional to digital accounting. The development of public accounting sector has this very crucial point where digitalization has become inevitable. The keyword digital transformation in the public sector, like or dislike, must be carried out. What is interesting here is the shift from traditional accounting approach to sustainability accounting. Okay, in traditional accounting, this includes the bookkeeping process only, record the accounting cycle. We know the approach taken in recording is done manually with manual control, and in budgeting, budgeting process is carried out using manual approach, cash-based line item budgeting, just across 5 to 10% from the last year to forward years, focusing on budget allocation and realization. And in audit process is carried out using the old version of the audit approach, where the internal auditor function is like a watchdog. And the last, the analysis use is the structure, expenditure, or spending. Meanwhile, when compared with sustainability accounting, it is explained more about digital accounting, where transaction analysis is used for the system to make decision. So the second one, the approach taken in is digital as the control system. The comprehensive budgeting is carried out using an accrual basis, performance budgeting, money follow program or activity, and the term principle of 5E, effectiveness, cost effectiveness, efficiency, economies, and the last, equity and quality by Mr. Mardiasmo to we reach the fairness and accountability. Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth one, The inspection process is carried out using a digital approach, and system audit, where the auditor function is a catalyst, universe audit and risk-based audit. And the last one, the differences with traditional accounting, the analysis used is cost and benefit, as well as market-driven structural analysis. Ladies and gentlemen, the next slide, the digital accounting transformation can be through several things, including artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, robotic system, metaverse, and digital or forensic audit. One example of digital accounting transformation in our institution, higher education, the only one in Indonesia, open and distance learning education, developed enterprise resource planning, which was named the financial planning, implementation, and accountability information system in bahasa sistem informasi perencanaan, pelaksanaan, dan pertanggungjawaban in one application, in one enterprise resource planning. So integration is one thing to develop this phenomena. The next explanation regarding the mind map for innovation, business, and investment is divided into three things. The first one, the alternative income come from downstream research, investment, portfolio, and asset optimization. And the second one, student through the development of artificial intelligence tutors, UT-force, and personalized learning. As we know that the UT depend on digital learning material, that the power of digital learning material based on self-content, self-explanatory power, and self-extraction. So the independent learning is the crucial model for our student. And the third one, the finance governance through agile governance, budget control, and data driven. Related to problem analysis, planning, and budgeting are based on the breakdown vision, mission, long-term plan, business strategic plan, working plan, and annual budget. And unit annual work plan and budget. The next slide. Based on digital transformation, we develop next slide. SIP UT, Sistem Informasi Perencanaan, Pelaksanaan, dan Pertanggungjawaban, has a feature including PROMIS, Procurement Management Information System, and the benchmark of other university to accountable and transparency management, procurement management. And the second one, a budgeting. We can make the planning from vision cascading to activity. And the next one, expenditure. We can process the expenditure allocation and costing by system, by application. And next, the e-asset. We can manage our asset to optimum quality from procurement to the write-off of asset. And next, the human resource information system, the integrated portal system for our management human resource. And si akun is a record of our transaction, and the executive information system, the application for us to decision making, and e-sign, e-revenue, and e-management, risk management. Ladies and gentlemen, in the implementation of SIP UT, start with payment request letter at the work unit in payment order at the financial center, which is processed on the same day. Okay, the advantage of SIP UT include paperless, no courier fees, no overtime fees for document processing, and faster process. So the efficiency and cost effectiveness is very important for us. Furthermore, digital transformation maturity. So next slide. Yeah, we can measure our digital transformation maturity. That consists of the first one in this one first step. Initially, financial management is still conventional and does not utilize digital technology. And after the first pass, the second pass manage digitalization of the financial management process, but it is still silos. Collaboration between effective financial management has not been formed. And the third pass defined digitalization of financial management process with information system integration and collaboration between financial management. And the fourth pass quantified digitalization transformation of innovative integrated financial management and strategic for achieving organization performance. And the last pass optimize creation, innovation of added value, and implementation of sustainability based financial management practices, so that become a role model and mentor for works units. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, second last slide. Yeah, the challenge of digital transformation in the public sector from our experience include the first one, digital security risk. We know digital security risks are an action or event that could result in loss or damage to computer software, hardware, data, or information. Proof point digital risk protection looks beyond your perimeter to deliver discovery and protection that preserves your brand reputation and customer trust. And the second one, the challenge of digital transformation in public sector, about the resistance to change is unwillingness to adapt and to adopt to new circumstance or ways of doing things. It can happen with individual, employee, relationship, or within organization. There are many reasons for resistance, but at its heart, resistance is rooted in fear of the unknown. The third one, the digital skill gap is defined as the gap between the demand and supply or worker with the digital skill so by employer. And the last one, complexity characteristic, the behavior of system or model whose component interact in multiple ways and follow local rules, leading to non-linearity, randomness, collective dynamics, hierarchy, and emergence. The last one, the last but not the least, ultimately, the implication for implementing digital transformation in the public sector, decision making become more reliable, valid and relevant, and good public governance, the emphasis accountability and sustainability. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yes, thank you very much, Prof. Ali, for the interesting and informative presentation about digital transformation. Okay, please give one more applause to Professor Ali. Okay, thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will move to our second speaker. Today, we will have Professor Sojin Kwang as our second speaker. Professor So is already here with us through Zoom meeting. Okay, please wait for a moment.
Okay.
Okay, hello, Professor So. 안녕하세요.
How are you? Yes. Sorry not to be there with you.
Yeah, we meet again. How are you, Professor So?
Yeah, fine. And actually, I missed so many occupied places. I could see so many occupied places. Louder? Okay, I use the volume. Okay.
Before we begin, let me introduce Professor So for us. Okay, thank you. Professor Sojin Kwang received his bachelor, master, and PhD degree from Seoul National University. Currently, he is an emeritus professor in Gachon University, Korea. He wrote more than 30 books and have more than 180 academic papers published. Professor Sojin Kwang is Vice President and Professor at Gachon University, the President of the Korean Regional Development Association, President of the Korean Association for Local Government Studies, and the President of Korea Seimao Undong Center. Prof. Sojin Kwang, the time to deliver the presentation will be 25 minutes. So without further ado, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much for your invite as a keynote speaker. And my great honor to be with you through online networks. Let me go to the point directly, save the time. Okay. And can you show me my is on the screen? Can you show me PPT on the screen?
We are on it.
Okay.
Please wait for a moment.
Okay. I guess. Next PPT. Next. Okay, let me go into directly next. Okay. What is the background of sustainable terminalism? It has been many years over since concerns have been raised with the current humanization not continue tendencies. And on this earth, population size remains balanced for a long time, interacting with ecosystems. This balance will be broken as the productivity of human activities increased through the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution progressed the direction of exploiting natural ecosystems, eventually leading to a situation where the basic human ecosystem could no longer be sustained. So we are facing the advent of sustainability in our society. Next PPT, please. Next PPT, please. Okay. So the other terminology than sustainability has ever been quoted more frequently in academic society as well as practical learning from the second half of the 20th century. Actually, sustainability began to be raised in the fishing industry in 1960, but introduced in academia from 1970s. The Club of Rome supported research on critical command of mankind focusing on evolution of natural resources, environmental pollution, population explosion, development, and the threat from mass destruction by military technology. The result of the research was published titled The Limits Crossed by Meadows, his colleagues in 1972. Actually, the title of this report, The Limits, succeeded to evoke counterpart terminology, sustainability in human society. Basically, the next PPT, please. Basically, terminology of sustainability refers to the ability to maintain or support process continuously over time. Sustainable development requires an integrated approach that takes into consideration environmental concerns along with economic development. In 1987, can you hear me? Can you hear me? There may be some problems. Okay. The previous PPT.
Yes, we can hear you very clearly, Professor.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. In 1987, the United Nations Brundtland Commission defined sustainability as meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Currently, the prevailing definition of sustainability emphasizes cross-generational equity. It means clearly an important concept, but which poses difficulties since future generations' needs are not easy to define or determine. So the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, declared by the United Nations in 2015, are the blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. The 17 goals are all interconnected, and in order to leave no one behind, it is important that we achieve them by 2030. But the agenda is a promise, not a guarantee. It's why the practice of SDGs is on all of us living now and here to advocate our next generations. And then the key principle, the next PPT, the key principle of sustainable development underlying all others is the integration of environmental, social, and economic concerns into all aspects of decision making. In practice, sustainable development requires the integration of economic, environmental, and social objectives across sectors, territories, and generations. Therefore, sustainable development requires the elimination of fragmentation. That is, environmental, social, and economic concerns must be integrated throughout decision-making processes in order to move towards development. So that's why let me stress the importance of good governance in our society. Next PPT. So the types of sustainability can be divided into several realms. Since the key concept of sustainability spans the ecosystem of human activity, it can be approached in various ways. The main areas of human activity consist of economy, society, environment, culture, and etc. Accordingly, sustainability also covers a large spectrum of our lifestyles. The first may be the most important. Most experts classify sustainability into three: economic, social, and environmental areas. And I added one here, cultural sustainability. This is because culture is linked to the economy, society, and the environment of human civilization and provides the basis for practicing economic, social, and environmental sustainability. Michael Ben Ellie this year classifies the areas of sustainability into 5. The next PPT, please. And then why sustainability is so important? It may be the most critical question ever raised in our society. The first, maybe humans cannot survive on this planet unless other biospecies don't support us. Other biospecies should survive for humans' sustainability. It's fine. We should protect or conserve nature, and we should respect nature. And the second, biospecies cannot also survive if physical conditions change rapidly. It's why climate change doesn't matter for the sustainability of human civilization. And the third, we need to recognize the fact that the humans themselves are destroying the equilibrium of environment, which humans have relied on ever. It's why we need to change our attitude and behavior. Otherwise, we cannot practice and realize our sustainability in this world. And then next PPT. You see here, in 1970, the material balance theory was verified by some scientists. According to this theory, I draw this diagram. Our lives can be divided into 3 spheres. The first may be production sphere, and the second consumption sphere, and the third recycling sphere. So each stage or each sphere must be on the base of material balance. It was verified in 1970s already. Yeah, for example, at the production stage, we should introduce natural resources from nature, RN here, and then we are manufacturing several goods and services with those natural resources and sell them to household through the market. And at the consumption stage, household buy some goods from the market and then consume them into waste, and then waste from household here, WH. And then at each stage, the material balance maintained. For example, at the production stage are Rn, and then from the recycling resources, RR here, plus natural resources and the recycling resources equals to good. I mean that to sell manufactured goods to household. And at the consumption stage, G, goods from the market equals to waste from household to nature, I mean WH, and then resource recycled RH. And like this, the next, we can get three functions of material balance at the product, resources from nature plus resources from recycling stage equals to goods and then waste from factory, and then at the consumption stage, goods from the market equals to recycling resources from household and waste from household. And last, at the recycling stage, this resources from household equals to resources recycled to sell them to the manufacturer. In other words, production stage, and plus waste from recycling stage. So we can add three functions into one, 1 plus 2 plus 3, like this. Resources from nature equals to waste from factories plus waste from household plus waste from recycling stages. It means that natural resources depletion equals to environmental pollution. Okay, so it's fine. We should respect our nature and we should maintain natural equilibrium in our human civilization. Okay, next. So, what is the most important problem in our societies, especially in the 21st century? Everyone knows very well sustainability of human civilization. Okay, so how to realize and practice sustainability of human civilization? You know, where in 1992 in Rio de Janeiro, so many Earth Summit met together to declare ESSD, environmentally sustainable, sound and sustainable development. Okay, so to realize ESSD, at that time they declared that we need good governance. Good governance may be very different from the existing government style. For example, government style here, I means that the government decides, people should follow them. But sustainability cannot be practiced from the top-down approach. So we need to build good governance from the bottom-up approach. Okay, so to build good governance system, we need social capital, such as trust, participation, networks, institution capacity, and altruism, like this. But we cannot ignore physical capital. We need money, we need land, we need good housing, like this. So if we need to accumulate the social capital and to build good governance and to practice sustainability. It's the three terminologies are the current paradigm in the field of development studies. Even though we can stress those three triad system current paradigm of development studies, we cannot ignore physical capital. Okay, so proper material abundance also helps our economic sustainability, but we should remember that environmental sustainability must be more important for the next generation than economic sustainability. Okay, so how to practice sustainability? Next PPT, please. It's very important. The past trajectory of development had relied on physical scale, thereby destroying the equilibrium of ecosystems surrounding humans. The current issues on development, what is? Raising economic income, constructing convenient infrastructures and facilities, improving living conditions, making economic activities more efficient and effective, maintaining neighborhood in good shape, establishing and managing safety net in our neighborhood, creating common interest for the future, for the next generation. This concept of development ignores the sustainability of human civilization. So we need to change the trajectory and the paradigm of development. So Michael Ben Ali, next PPT please, suggested five, yeah. So how to change the paradigm of development studies? For example, the first, from government to governance. I mean that we need to change our paradigm in the field of development studies from top-down to bottom-up approach. And then second, maybe from economic capital to social capital, because the social capital can evoke the sense of community, we are one, thereby can increase our quality of life. And the third, from physical development to rebuilding the community, because the community is the basic unit to figure out the details of our sustainability. And lastly, let me add, from analog space to digital space is the critical problem we will face in the era of digital space. So we need to prepare for that. Because sustainability has become inaccessible while ignoring information and the communication technology. Okay, in other words, the era of digital space may be stressed to focus on people instead of a place. In analog era, we focused on the place's prosperity, but in digital space, maybe we should focus on people's prosperity. Okay, next step. Here, I introduced 5 principles for sustainability suggested by Ben here, but to save the time, then give this part.
Pardon, Professor So?
Okay.
Okay, the time is 10 minutes left. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. But just in brief, let me introduce the categories of 5 principles for sustainability here. The first principle is the material domain, and the second principle is the economic domain, and the third principle is the domain of biodiversity. Next, please. And the fourth principle is the social domain, and the fifth principle is the spiritual domain. without changing our attitude and behavior, we cannot realize, we cannot practice sustainability for the next generations. The equilibrium has been greatly distributed in our time with the exponential intensification of human activity and the resulting demand on resources, as well as the generation of waste bioproducts. For example, here, those waste byproducts exceed the planet's regeneration and absorption capacities is the critical problem we are facing now. Together, these factors make the current trajectory of human affairs unsustainable. So we should change our human trajectory, especially in the field of development studies or in the development practice. Okay, so to change our trajectory, the current trajectory, what can be done? We should change our attitude and our behavior. For example, to save the electricity and to dispose waste separately into recycling resources and just waste to the nature like this. So here I prepared to explain how to practice sustainability. In Korea, we experienced the 새마을운동 to realize and practice 새마을운동. Let me introduce in brief the concept of 새마을운동 and the approaches of 새마을운동. Actually, the spirits of 새마을운동, we used to say that the triad system, such as diligence spirit, self-help spirit, and cooperation spirit. And then the mechanism of 새마을운동 can be said like this: by the people, for the people, of the people. Without people, we cannot practice or the realized sustainability. So the principles of 새마을운동 can be said that like this: in order to solve the problem at the field, the answer must be found at the field. Okay, so these principles returned the governmental initiatives and ownership to the people on the site. So village people and then all the people since 1974, I mean that in 1974, in urban areas, 새마을운동 began to be spread to practice our sustainability. So 새마을운동 succeeded in making all the people into all stakeholders. So all the people at the village level, at the commune, or in the community became stakeholders about their future by themselves, of themselves, for themselves. At that time, the role of governments just stimulated village people to do something for their future by evoking initiatives and ownership of people's prosperity through training 새마을 leaders. So like this, let me brief summarize the outcomes of 새마을운동 like this. 새마을운동 succeeded in accumulating social capital in the community. And 새마을운동 succeeded in building local governance focusing on bottom-up approach. And 새마을운동 succeeded in practicing sustainability by cultivating a sense of community. We are one. Okay? So 새마을운동 has evolved to respond to the current problems which identified by the people, for the people, of the people, especially for domains of sustainability can be practiced by building each corresponding sense of community at the field. And for example, here I divided sustainability into four realms, four types: economic sustainability, environmental sustainability, social sustainability, and cultural sustainability. And then economic sustainability can be practiced by building economic community. And the environmental sustainability can be practiced by building environmental community. And then social sustainability can be practiced by building social community. And then last, cultural sustainability can be practiced by building cultural community. In other words, we are one in the field of cultural heritage, like this. So next, it shows how to sustain 새마을운동 project over than 50 years in Korean society, but you may refer to this figure. Okay, let me conclude. Thank you very much. Actually, we are facing the critical problems, climate change. So climate change destroy our sustainability. So we should change our attitude and behavior to practice the sustainability of human civilization. And then the problem is how to practice and how to realize sustainability. In that case, the Korean experiences of 새마을운동 may be helpful. Thank you very much. Terima kasih.
Okay, terima kasih. Thank you, Professor So. Kamsahamnida. There is a very excellent and informative presentation from Professor So. Okay, we have our next keynote speaker. We have here Dr. Norziana with us. Before then, I will introduce Dr. Norziana. Norziana Lukman is an associate professor and a research fellow at the Accounting Research Institute, Higher Institution Center of Excellence, University Technology Mara, Malaysia. She has earned her doctorate in corporate administration, corporate governance from the University of Southern Queensland, Australia. She is a fellow member of the Malaysian Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators and is actively involved in various committees of MAACSA. She has presented papers at various conferences and published articles in reputable scholarly journals. She also has received several research grants as a principal investigator and project member. Her research interests focus on corporate disclosure, corporate governance, and corporate rescue. Dr. Norziana Lukman, the time to deliver the presentation is 25 minutes. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Ms. Moderator. Okay, Assalamualaikum. As well as the Ministries of Terbuka. Okay. I'm delighted to actually to address you on top of assessing governance from paying tax to the government. Okay, and this organization, they can have commercial activities, they can make profit, but they are not allowed to actually distribute any revenue from their commercial activity to the members or return it back to the founders of the foundations. Okay, the next types of organization which is not for profit organizations. Okay, so the term sometimes also intentionally represent non-profit organization, but it's different because organization, they are not allowed to carry out activities. Okay, example like club, So these are kind of that represent not for profit organization. Okay. Then the third one is non-government. Now let's
Recording in progress.
explore the different way in which non-profit, okay, not for profit, non-governmental organization. Okay, in Malaysia, especially these types of organizations can be formed, okay, either under different act. Okay, first one, okay, the organization can be formed under the Companies Act, Malaysian Companies Act, 16, and this organization as a company limited by guarantee. So this is what my study about with non-profit foundations, or sometimes it's also known as corporate foundations, because it actually represent the parent company. This company is normally company that listed in the some. The second where organization can be formed is under the they can form under the Society Act, okay, 1966, and organizations, okay, can be formed either as a society, organizations, or association. Okay, and they are normally monitored by the Registrar of Society of Malaysia. Okay, the first one monitored by the Companies of Malaysia. Next, this organization can also be formed under Incorporations of Trustee Act, okay, Act 1952, okay, and these types of organization normally will be supervised by the Prime Minister Department under the Legal Affairs Divisions. Okay, and the last one is Trustee Company and foundations that form of Malaysia, like Sabah and Sarawak. Okay, so based on this, see that organization can be formed by under four different act. Okay, so this can actually create conflict and also complexity on how government actually monitor and manage, okay, the organization, okay, because different authority actually manage and supervise. So there is no coordination. Okay, next, now let we examine the common objective of these organizations. So normally these organizations are formed either as purpose for as organization or religious organizations, or as education, social, literary, scientific, as well as art and cultures. So as I told you earlier, okay, my study focus on this non-profit foundation. So these non-profit foundations is sometimes also known as corporate foundations. Why? Because for Malaysian company, okay, for listed company on the stock exchange of Bursa Malaysia, they are encouraged by the Malaysian Code and Corporate Governance, as well as by the Bursa Malaysia listed requirement to contribute to the community. So that's the reason why this company, okay, they form or a subsidiaries as okay, to carry out the corporate philanthropy activities of the parent company. So in order to formalize the activities, okay, activities on the part of the parent company, they form, okay, a foundation, which is under the Companies Act. Okay, just now I told you, okay, this organization can be formed, okay, under Companies Act, and normally are not non-profit organizations, okay, but as I told earlier, okay, for non-profit they are allowed commercial activities, okay, but the revenue that they gain from the commercial activity cannot be used in order to pay dividends or to distribute back to the shareholders or from the organization, but it can be used for activities such to provide scholarships or to donate to those underprivileged people or any kind of social or community. Okay, next slide. So we can say that this non-profit organization have close relationship with the parent company, okay, in terms of their objective, in terms of their activity, because actually helping to bring good image on behalf of the parent company. Okay, so here these organizations can be formed by numbers under different act. Okay, therefore issues on governance, issues on accountability, and issues on transparency is critical, okay, for this kind of organization. Okay, so governance, okay, for non-profit foundation, okay, they need to have proper governance system. The fundamental components of accountability to the stakeholders. Okay, and then in terms of accountability, okay, because non-profit foundations normally they by either by the individual or by the government grant or by the company. Okay, therefore they have a wider to a wider stakeholders of the organization. Okay, and of course these stakeholders have higher expectations, especially for this kind of foundations, because as you know, companies also listed companies. So normally listed companies are required to comply a more stringent kind of rules. Okay, so so we do expect that this organization will have high governance, high accountability, as well as transparency. Okay, because of their parent company. Okay, then in terms of transparency, okay, accounting and reporting practices for this type of foundations, okay, because they are under the supervisions of the Companies Commissions of Malaysia, they have minimum requirement to provide accounts to the CCM every year, okay, and then this account should be prepared according to the Malaysian Financial Reporting Standard as issued by the Malaysian Accounting Standard Board. Okay, so that is the minimum requirement by the authority in respect of their reporting of the foundations. Next, these three principles, governance, accountability, and transparency, are important to these types of organization, especially in the digital era. Okay, so first of all, because when you have robust governance structure, okay, essential for this effective navigating the complexity of digital strategies, ensuring that these kind of organization missions and values are upheld amid the technological and advancement. Secondly, accountability mechanisms, okay, are crucial in the age of instant information dissemination, as they can actually demonstrate responsible management of digital resources, maintaining trust with stakeholders, donors, as well as the public. Thirdly, transparency principle in digital operations engenders credibility as well as engagement, as it enables the foundation to showcase their impacts, and you can track their performance in real time, and fostering donor confidence and long-term commitment. Fourthly, it allowed the non-profit organization to actually leverage the digital era tools. Okay, so non-profit foundation can actually engage with the global audience. They are able to tapping into a broader donor base and accessible innovative crowdfunding and peer-to-peer fundraising opportunities. Thereby, it can actually enhance their financial sustainability. And last and not least, this digital era provide opportunity for data-driven decision-making for the non-profit organization, allow the foundation to optimize their program, identify any emerging need for the non-profit organization, and adapt swiftly to evolving social challenge, thus ensuring not only their survival but also their relevance and effectiveness in addressing contemporary global issues. Okay, so that's why we said that governance, accountability, and transparency in this digital era for non-profit organization, it not only can actually safeguard the organization, they are a strategic imperative for capitalizing on the transformations, potential technology, and securing long-term So based on that introductions, okay, we move on to the problem statements. Okay, so as I explained earlier, okay, the formations of these non-profit foundations in Malaysia and other type of non-profit organizations, okay, it can be formed under different act. Okay, so it's create a complexity, it create confusions for the members. Okay, who should supervise them, who govern the organization. Okay. Secondly, focus on how NPO are governed. So because non-profit organizations, okay, when they are formed by different act, okay, they have different governance body, okay, or structures that they adopt, okay, based on the how they was formed. Okay, so that create another complication and then the structure appear to be unclear. Okay. Secondly, some of these non-profit organizations, okay, they adopt two-tier board structure, okay, where they have a management board as well as they have sometimes they have what we call trustee board. Okay, so what make it complicated is that there is no what we call term of reference that being spelled out clearly. What is the responsibilities of the management board and what is the responsibility of this trustee board. Okay, sometimes they are conflicting and sometimes the members of these two board are the same person. Okay, so this create conflicts of interest. Next, problems, because Malaysian non-profit organizations regulation is also not very clear. Okay, not like in UK, in Australia, they have one specific rules that actually govern all non-profit organizations in their country. But in Malaysia, because every non-profit organization depend on how they are formed. Okay, there are the 4 different acts. Okay, so this the one that is formed under Companies Act, they are supervised by the SCCM. Those are formed under the Society Act, then they are monitored by the ROS. Okay, so this create complexity and there is no single regulatory body that actually monitor the operations of this non-profit organization. Okay, next, lack of control and monitoring. Okay, so there is no official, as I told you earlier. And then the stakeholder expectations. The stakeholder expectations is quite high, okay, due to the nature of the objective of the organizations. So the stakeholders of the organization expect that this type of organization, okay, have high accountability, have high transparency and governance.
Have done, Doctor. The time is 10 minutes.
Okay, next. Next slide. Okay, research question or objective. So this is my research questions and the research objective. Okay, what is the current level of governance, accountability, and transparency of non-profit foundation? And the objective of the study is to actually assess what is the current level of accountability, governance, and transparency of these types of organization. Next, this is the research methodology. Okay, in this study, we have 45 non-profit foundations, which is categorized as company limited by guarantee. Okay, and we make sure that these 45 non-profit organization is also where their parent company is listed on Bursa Malaysia, and the data that we collect mostly is secondary data, where we assess from the annual report of the organizations or the sustainability report, because some of these organizations, they have sustainability report as well as their website. Next, the approach that we use is a content approach. Okay, is employed to assess the level of governance, accountability, and transparency. Next, the data collection process. So first, we have to prepare a set of checklists, which consists of the three main components, which is governance, accountability, as well as transparency. Okay, and for each and this checklist, is actually we adopt from prior study, that is Danani and Roslan, and then we modified that checklist to suit our non-profit foundations. Then from there, actually we have 53 items. The checklist have 53 items where we divided into three components. The governance components consist of 19 items. Second component, accountability, another 17 items. And then for transparency, another 17 items. Okay, so in total we have 53 items. So the data collection process start by reviewing the annual reports of these foundations, as well as their sustainability and their websites. And then if let's say we observe the item in the annual report or on the website, then we give a score of 1. But if we can observe the item from the annual report or from the website, then we'll give we assign 0 score. And then at the end, we'll add up all the item, the score for each category. Okay, and then we assess whether the foundations is considered to practice poor governance, accountability, and transparency, or average, or good and excellent. Okay, next. So the key findings, what we found out is that following the result, we can say that 16, surprising, 16 out of 45 of these foundations have their own website, but the remaining, they don't have actually their own websites. Okay? What happened is that they all information is actually in the parent company websites rather than on their own websites. And then one of the non-profit foundations in the study use social media such as Facebook to update the foundation informations to the public. Thirdly, we found that out of 45 non-profit foundations, only 4 actually have their own annual report. Okay, most of them did not have annual report. In fact, their activities is actually incorporated in the parent company annual report and sustainability report. Okay. And then out of these 4 non-profit foundations with annual report, one of the organizations has actually stopped producing their annual report after the year 2017. Okay. So this is what we have found. So based on this, we said that due to the lack of availability of the informations related to foundation, we also check the parent company website to ensure that we are able to gain all the informations required for our study. Next slide. So based on that result, okay, we can say that most of foundations under company limited by guarantee category, okay, they have poor governance, poor transparency, and accountability, because the point that they get is below the average. Okay? So this is indicate that Malaysia foundations have poor governance and they normally practice minimum minimum kind of practices to comply with the requirement, because there is no regulations which mandate the non-profit foundations to actually report their activities. Next, discussion. So it was found that the level of governance, accountability, and transparency practices of Malaysian non-profit foundation relatively low. So the result indicate that the foundation practice minimum reporting requirement, and most foundations do not have dedicated website, and if there is a website, the information provided is very, very limited. Most of foundation did not publish their own corporate annual report. All is based on their parent company, and it will this will actually lead to information asymmetry, which will hinder the ability of the donor or to make an informed kind of donation decisions. So for non-profit organization, being transparent through better disclosure on website or annual report will actually signal to the stakeholders that the foundation is actually accountable to their stakeholders. So as a recommendation, next slide. So as a recommendation, we suggest for this that there should be a set of regulatory body or ministry to actually monitor the operations of these non-profit foundations, other than the Companies Commission and the Register of Society. Next, we also recommend for Malaysia government to develop a set of governance code which is applicable for all non-profit organization, because currently in Malaysia we do not have any specific governance code for non-profit organization. Thirdly, for non-profit foundations, those are because they have parent companies, so parent companies should monitor the practice of their subsidiary, that is their foundations, to ensure that their foundations incorporates all the good governance practices within their operations. And last and not least, the foundation should leverage the information technology advancements for the reporting purposes. Next slide. So this is some of the limitations as well as the what we suggest for future research. So this study consists of a small sample because it's only include 45 organizations. So the generalizations of the result may not be generalized to other form of non-profit organization in Malaysia. Secondly, because most of the information that we gather are based on the annual report, which we can access through the websites. So this is another limitations that we face. So the validity and the reliability of the informations might be questions. So for future research, we suggest that we need to extend the sample of the study to include other non-profit organization other than the those under form under the Companies Act. Next slide. So as the conclusions, we can say that in essence, governance, accountability, as well as transparency, in digital era are not just safeguard for the non-profit organization or foundation. They are strategic imperative for capitalizing on the transformative potential of technology and securing the long-term sustainability in an increasing interconnected world. So this will inevitably contribute to the well-being of the communities at large and assist the Malaysian government in achieving the Sustainable Development Goal number 16, that is focus on peace, justice, and strong institution. So I think with that, I would say thank you for your attentions, and I do look forward to the rich discussions that ahead in our pursuits to a brighter and more sustainable futures.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Luciana. And thank you very much, Eren, to all distinguished speakers for their informative and insightful presentation. Now we will begin the question and answer session. If anyone has questions or suggestions, please feel free to raise your hand. And as for the online participant, you may ask the question directly or through the chat box. Okay, I will open the floor for question. If anyone has any question to our keynote speakers today, please you can raise your hand. Okay, we have.
Hi, I'm Sharifa from UITM. I have question for Prof. So basically, all right, because his area of research is very much of my interest. So Prof. So, if you are you here, Prof. So?
Okay, Professor So, are you here with us?
I can hear you. Okay.
Prof. So, in your opinion, right, how circular economy could be used to propel our effort towards sustainability?
Pardon?
In your opinion, right, how circular economy could be used to propel our efforts towards sustainability?
Yep. It's a very important question. And in my opinion, the circular causation process of current economy will finally destroy our equilibrium in natural ecosystem surrounding us. This is why I said already in my keynote speech, we should change our attitude and behavior. I mean that to save the natural resources and to save energy and to save some material capital or physical capital like this. Instead, we should build a sense of community. I mean that we are one. Otherwise, we cannot practice our sustainability. For example, how to dispose our waste into two parts, recycled parts or just waste to the nature. But we cannot ignore the circular process of our economy, but we should change our trajectory. Up to now, we focused on expanding circular process of economy. Okay, but we should change now.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor So, and thank you for the question, Mrs. Sarifa. Okay. As information, everyone who asks questions today will be give by a goodie bag from our committee. So maybe everyone here who has question, okay, please committee, please help. Yes. Okay.
This is Zahirul Haq from Prince Sultan University. I'm also representing Latrobe University, but I left Latrobe in 2021. My first question to Professor Ali, as you know that as this is a human tendency that we don't like to see any new things in our practice. We always like to do our things as we like. But any new system has resistance. And you said digitalization of finance function has also been subject to resistance by people. So my question is to you, how did you tackle the resistance and how did you manage that resistance to change?
Thank you, Prof. Jairul. In any change of our transformation digital, we have facing resistance of our employer, and in our area, in all of Indonesia, we have 39 brand office. We have a problem to communicate and to deliver this transformation digital. So we in every Monday, my rector always speak in apel pagi, in morning ceremony, morning briefing to our employee in all of Indonesia, to brief, to describe the benefit and the important things we have to transformation, because the digital transformation is the answer for the next our governance. Prof. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Ali. Okay, maybe we have next. Yeah.
Thank you. My question to Professor Ali. What you elaborate about digital transformation, I think it is interesting topics. What's my question is, how can you respond about the standard of accounting or the standard of audit? Is it necessary to adapt or to revise the standard since the accounting preparation changed drastically by digital transformation? Thank you.
Maaf, dari STAN ya Pak? Oke, yeah. And the first time to in the start to develop our application, we have to comply to the regulation of Indonesian framework. The ISAK 35 and PSAK. This it's main regulation to our developing. Yeah, for we have the supervisor. The professor is professional accountant, and that's very know about the ISAK 35 and standard auditing standard. So no problem for us. That is the start point to develop before our develop the digital transformation or application and integration ERP.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor Ali. Okay. Do we have any question here from the participant? We still have 10 minutes left to our discussion session. Maybe, okay, in the back.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm Sagung Oka from Universitas Mahasaraswati Denpasar. I want to ask Dr. Norziana Lukman about what should non-profit foundation do to maintain the sustainability based on your research that you're conducted. Thank you.
Yes, for Dr. Nur from Sagung.
Thank you. Okay, in order for the non-profit organizations to be able to sustain their activities and sustain for a long period, because previously I also have another research which only focus on the non-profit organizations during the COVID-19. Based on that research, we found out that more than 50% of these non-profit organizations during the COVID-19, they are not able to continue their operations, and they have to stop. Okay, especially those non-profit organizations that depend on the donations from the other members of the public or the government grant or whatever. Okay, means they don't have any commercial activities. Okay, so that's why we said that any kind of non-profit organization, they must practice good governance. They must practice accountability and sustainability, because these are the and transparency. Sorry, these are the three key elements that the non-profit organization must practice within their organizations in order to be sustained for a long period. Because if not, okay, the continuations of the activities, okay, will be stopped, and those who will be at disadvantage is the community. Those poor people, those underprivileged people are the one who will suffer. Okay, so that's what, and then these organizations are formed for that purpose, to help this group. Okay, but if these organizations are not able to continue to sustain, then how would we be able to help this group? Okay, I think did I answer your questions?
Thank you, Dr. Nurziana, for your response. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Nurziana. Okay. Maybe one last question, if you have question, Prof. Zairul.
Thank you. I think it's, I didn't want to miss the opportunity to say thank you, Professor So, because we met last time in 4 years ago in Labuan Bajo. So we miss him very well, very much. And Professor So, thank you for your wonderful presentation, because you always come with new ideas. Now you have idea to introduce cultural sustainability in the model. You also give us an example about Samuel Andung, where it has been highly implemented. So my question is, I think one of my participants here also mentioned about whether it can be localized. But if I ask you about South Korea, how this model is accepted by South Korean people, and what is its current status? And of course, I think it can be applied to any cultural context and given the specific, unique culture of every society. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Actually, I miss you, Professor Jairo. So long time no see. And then your good question. Thank you very much. Actually, yeah, people used to say that the miracle economic growth due to Semaul in Korea since 1970. 70, and then but it will be very important when we are talking about how to copy and how to benchmark those Korean experiences of Semaul in the 21st century in other countries, because our experience is more than 50 years ago, we achieved. And then, in addition, it was in Korean situation. Okay, so we should, we have problems when benchmarking Semaul experiences and when copying Semaul in Korea to other situations. The first may be how to review those experiences into current paradigm of in the field of community development. Okay, because now we are in the 21st century. Okay, so if I used to review the current paradigms in the field of development studies. Nowadays, we used to say that the current paradigms in the field of development into three. The first, the most important in our society, the sustainability and good governance and social capital. So if I presented the hierarchic system of triad system of the current paradigm in the field of development like this, but we cannot ignore physical capital, good housing, delicious food like this. And then, in addition, we should add social capital, and by building social capital, we by accumulating social capital, we can build a good governance system, and with a good governance system, we can practice sustainability in our field lives, I mean, because without bottom-up approach, sustainability cannot practice individually, is the key point. And then the second problem is it was in the Korean situation. Then what about in other developing countries? It's why we should localize Korean experiences into Indonesian case, Indonesian situations, and into Malaysian situations, into Ugandan situations like this. So two problems we are facing when we are talking about the outcomes of 새마을운동 in the 21st century. The first, the current paradigms of development, and the second, how to localize Korean experiences into other situations to fit their needs at the bottom of approach. Okay. Not efficient.
Okay,
anyway, very glad to meet you.
Thank you so much, Professor Sairul, and also Professor So for the answer. I just got informed that we still have time for one question. Okay.
Thank you very much. I want to ask to Dr. Nurziana. I am interested in your explanation before regarding to how the Malaysia, how you and your colleagues in Malaysia do some research towards the non-profit organizations, right? I want to ask about because in the Indonesian case we have the same conditions, like for example the digital. We have some digital platforms, like, well, maybe if I may mention the name, Aksi Cepat Tanggap. We have those platform. The platform that I have mentioned before has committed fraud issues. Like, for example, the one of the management, one of its management, committed a fraud that he used the social funds to actually for his personal use. For example, he used the social fund to build a house for his wife, not also one wife but wives. Okay, and also there are so many examples from his misbehaviors. So what I want to ask is about how you and your colleagues in Malaysia, maybe do you have any ideas of how we overcome these governance issues? Because in non-profit settings, we have common issues, which is the issues of governance, right? So is there any specific formula for us to adopt, especially in Indonesian settings, that how we tackle these governance issues based on your experience and your maybe research focus? Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's a very good questions. Okay, actually in Malaysia also we have case that involve foundations, and it also involve a very prominent people in Malaysia. So I cannot name it. Nanti I balik, I tak boleh balik. Okay. So these issues, okay, in terms of the governance, is a very critical issues. In fact, when we apply for a research grant and we try to get a support from this Prime Minister office, okay, under the legal divisions, because we want to collect data for these foundations lah. Okay, but unfortunately, we got rejections from the department. They said all this information is very confidential, so we are not allowed to get access from the organization. Okay, so go back to your questions about how you ensure the governance. I think one is the key issue is the leadership. Okay, the leader of the country or the leader of the organizations, they must have strong integrity, okay, and ethical value. Okay? So if your leaders do not have this kind of quality, and then how do you expect your people to actually follow your instructions or follow your order, because you did not set a good example for them. Okay? So that is the first thing. Another thing is, I think, the education part. Okay? We have to instill, okay, good practices, okay, ethical values, okay, to our children at a very earlier age, okay, for school children. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, in Indonesia, you did have educations on anti-corruptions, okay, for your school children. Okay, so we are also focusing on that because we see that our corruption index have actually decreasing, and we saw that Indonesians are moving up. Okay, so we try to ensure that we want to ensure that our education system also incorporate this what we call anti-corruption education to our kids. Okay, because at present we don't have this. Okay, only at university, even at university, only 2 public universities that actually incorporate these anti-corruption educations to the students. Okay, so that's why we apply for a research grant, and I'm grateful because I got the research grant on this anti-corruption educations. Okay, so that is the second one. Okay, the third one, I think the governments again needs to develop, okay, a rules, okay, regulations that govern all all non-profit organizations, because currently for Malaysia we don't have that. Okay, not like UK and other part of Western country where they have their own regulations that regulate the non-profit organization. Okay, I think that's my answer. Is it okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Roziana.
Okay. Okay, I think that's all for our question and answer session today. Very well. Before I'm closing this session, please allow me to take some highlights from our topics today. Digital transformation will giving more reliable, valid, and relevant decision making, and making a good public governance. We can practice sustainability by changing the trajectory of development and also understanding the principles for sustainability. And the last one, the good governance, accountability, and transparency are the key factors that are important to any kind of organization, including the non-profit organization as well. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say thank you again for our distinguished keynote speakers today. Thank you very much. Please give a round of applause for our speakers today, and also for all of us here as participants. Thank you again, and thank you for all the attention. I will return the time back to our MC, Miss Indah. Thank you very much.
Okay, please give big applause for our moderator and keynote speakers today. Okay, and now is the awarding souvenir session for all keynote speakers and also the certificate for the moderator from the Dean of Fakulty Economics and Business Unmas Denpasar. Please come up to this area. Okay. Accompanied by Dr. Witnyana and Dr. Cahyadi for giving the souvenir and certificate. Thank you. Yeah. For the next keynote speakers. It's already the documentation for this? Oh, yeah. Okay. And the last one for the moderator, Mrs. Sarina. Okay, and now this is a documentation session for all the moderator and keynote speakers and the representative of Fakulty Ekonomi and Bisnis Unmas Denpasar. Okay, please give big applause. And yeah, please come. For Mrs. Ke Pramarini, please stay on the stage because we will continue to the signing implementation arrangement on collaboration. The first one is between Universitas Mahasaraswati Denpasar with Chungbuk National University. To the representative of Chungbuk National University, kindly come up to the stage. And this is the documentation session. Thank you. And please stay on the stage for the representative of Chungbuk National University. And now, I will continue to the session between Universitas Mahasaraswati Denpasar with University Teknologi Mara. To the representative of University Teknologi Mara, kindly come up on the stage. Yeah, this is a documentation session. Thank you, and still, please stay on the stage. And now, I will continue to the signing implementation arrangement on collaboration between Universitas Mahasaraswati Denpasar with Universitas Terbuka. For the representative of Universitas Terbuka, kindly come up on the stage. Thank you. And please stay on the stage. Please stay on the in this area. Sorry. Okay, next between Universitas Mahasaraswati Denpasar with PKN stand. To the representative of PKN stand, the representative of PKN stand, kindly come up to the stage. PKN stand, thank you. Yeah, we will take photos for this session. Thank you. Thank you, and please stay on the stage. I will continue to the next between Universitas Mahasaraswati Denpasar with Universitas Trisakti. For the representative of Universitas Trisakti, kindly come up to the stage. Thank you, and please, and just stay on the stage. The next one is between Universitas Mahasaraswati Denpasar with Universitas Bali International. For the representative of Universitas Bali International, kindly come up to the stage. Thank you. The next one is between Universitas Mahasaraswati Denpasar with Universitas Tarumanegara. To the representative of Universitas Tarumanegara, kindly come up to the stage. Universitas Tarumanegara, thank you. Okay. Please stay on the stage. The next one between Universitas Mahasaraswati Denpasar with Universitas Tadulako. To the representative of Universitas Tadulako, kindly come up to the stage. The representative of Universitas Tadulako. Okay, thank you, and please just stay on the stage for the representative of Universitas Tadulako, because we will take photos together. For the representative of Universitas Tadulako, please come up to the stage, and we will take the photo together. So please. Okay, before the photo session, there will be the awarding from University Teknologi Mara to Unmas Denpasar for giving souvenir. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much. And now we will take photos together. So for the all representative of for each university can go to center of the stage, and for the committee, please do the documentation for this session. Okay, give big applause for all of the representative of each university. Okay, thank you, and please return to your seat. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to take a break and have lunch at Golden Lotus Restaurant. After lunch, we will move to the parallel session. All presenters can go to the certain room based on the schedule, both offline or online. And after our parallel session is finished, all presenters can join the Zoom room to attend the presentation from our online guest speaker. You are required to go to the presentation room at 13:15 Bali time. Okay, to all participants, please bring all your belongings because the room will be set up for the next parallel session. Thank you.